No, you're hot. Jumping around 10 years.
Because you come through for me, yeah.
I got the video eyes, but I'm just like,
Yeah, because a lot before we were sitting, I was just wiping my face and all that stuff, and it was at the beginning of the.
I can do all that, but I keep that on.
Okay.
And as soon as then I'll close my different.
Okay, great.
All right.
This is Mr. Eddie White, the local Bishop Scott is one of the owners of the state.
Mr. Scott, we met at the
Because you never fail. You never fail to the
No problem.
We are so happy that they hear the talk about the road.
I see victory in it, and in you I'm stronger, I'm wiser, I'm a winner. In you, Jesus, I've got victory. Here we go. You provide all that I need, and you give me the victory. Yeah. You provide all that I need. You give me victory. You make me better. You keep doing it over and over again. You give me everything I need. I ain't got no room for nothing. You give me victory. You provide all that I need. You do it for me. You make a way for me. Your word stands. What you say I will see. It shall come to pass. If you are strong, I'm better, I'm wiser. Yes, I am. Hey, I got victory in it. Whatever comes my way, I'm already victorious. Ooh, yeah. Everything I need, provide for me. Woo! My God. Everything I need, provide for me. Come on and help me see everything I need. You provide for me. You already made a way for me. You made a way out of no way. I'm reminded of what you did on the cross when you bear my sins. You already made the way for me. It's your blood. Because of your blood, I'm able to stand in victory. Oh, you provide for me. You keep doing it over and over again. When I wasn't worthy, when I was unfit, when I was a mess, you still provided for me. You always come through. You always come through for me. Every time I need you, every time I call, you come through. Woo! Hey, you always come through. You come through for me.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 980 AM WDDO, Perry, Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast. Okay.
All right.
All right, good afternoon and welcome once again to Ask Elaine. This is your voice, Commissioner Elaine Lucas, welcoming you to the program today. You know that it's Wednesday because we're right here with Ask Elaine. It's a very special day today and we're just so glad that you decided to join us. Would you please take it upon yourself to let other people know that we're back on the air. We've been on I guess maybe 5 months, this second stint around. We were on for 8 years before on the other station, and here with DDO, historic DDO, we're maybe 4 or 5 months, and we're just so happy. Thank you again for tuning in. For those of you with Facebook, go to Facebook Live and go to DDO, The Glory, and you can see our wonderful looking faces on here. You can see me, and then share it and let others that you know that Ask Elaine is on Facebook Live, on the visual radio, WDDO, and we hope that we will share something with you today that will be helpful to you. Our special guest today we'll introduce in just a few minutes, and I think you'll enjoy hearing from him. As a matter of fact, we have 2 special guests today, one in our first 30 minutes, first half hour, and then a second special guest in the second half hour today. So you're going to get lots and lots of information, but I got to tell you this. If you have not voted, today is the last day for early voting. Prior to days that you can vote before the actual election day, which is January 5th, next Tuesday. But you still can go and vote, and there are 3 sites you can go and vote up until 5:30, I believe, at the main office of the Board of Elections. It's at 2525 Paolona Avenue in Westgate. You can also go down to the Lucas Senior Center in Carolyn Creighton Park, what used to be Central City Park. And then the third early voting location is the Theron Ussery, formerly North Macon Recreation Center. So there are 3 places that you can vote early, but if you don't vote early today, then the next day that you can vote will be on election day, and I just wouldn't wait. If you have an absentee ballot, you have received it, would you please go ahead and vote and take it to one of the drop boxes? Let's go ahead and get this call real quick, and then we'll get back to voting in just a minute, and our special guest. Good afternoon, Ask Elaine.
Hello, Miss Lucas.
Hello, how are you?
Fine, and you?
That's great. I'm great. What's going on today?
I would just want to call and let you know that I told you, while I was there with you, how nice the swearing in ceremony was.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we haven't had a chance to talk about that, but go ahead.
It was really great, and the food and the fellowship was wonderful. And
Yeah.
congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much. What Nita is referring to is we had the inauguration ceremony of Macon Bibb County Commission, where our new mayor and our other 9 commissioners, many of you might not know, but the mayor is a commissioner as well. So actually, there are 10 commissioners. There's the mayor and then 9 others. Other commissioners. We were sworn in this morning at City Auditorium. We were a little nervous being in a crowd, but we were socially distanced and we all had masks. I was real pleased to have, I think, about 20 members of my family there. Sisters, cousins, daughter-in-laws, grandchildren, nieces, close friends, and then the others who were being sworn in had guests there as well. But there were, I guess, about 500 people in there, and that was the capacity because you wanted everybody to be spread out in an inside setting. So it was great. Thank you so much for being there. It's really really an honor that people trust you. They vote for you and they say, go and take care of my business in government for me. It's a position of trust, and we take the oath. We raise our hand and put our other hand on the Bible, and we swear that we're going to do what's in the best interest of all citizens, not just one over here, not just one over here, but all citizens. We swear on the Bible that we're going to do that. It's just a shame that people forget it. Some people walk out the door and forget it. I don't ever forget it. And I don't ever forget the trust that people have placed in me and the responsibility. And I'm going to do my very best. These last 4 years, I can only serve one more term, and this is my last term. We are term limited on the commission. You can only serve 3 terms. So this is my 3rd and final term, but I'm going to try my best to do everything that I can. I don't ever go and make specific promises to people, because you don't do that. You don't know what because you got to work with others to get stuff done. Everybody has a vote on each issue, but I'm just promising that we're going to continue working as hard as I can to make sure that there is some improvement and people will be able to say she did the best she could. So thank you for your call. Thank you for being there. And we are so happy that you've tuned in to listen today.
Oh, yes, I wouldn't miss it.
All right. You take care.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, you too. You have a great evening.
You too. Bye. Bye-bye. That's our regular caller, Nita. That's my sister. And I am so happy that she calls in and kind of keeps us up on what's going on, and helps us to feel the temperature of what's going on out there. So I really appreciate her and appreciate her support. So our special guest is none other than Mr. Eddie White. And he is the local president of the A. Philip Randolph Institute. Mr. White, would you just I've already introduced you, but would you introduce yourself again to the listening audience on WDDO radio and also on Facebook Live?
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, as she stated, my name is Eddie White. I'm the local president of the A. Philip Randolph Institute of Macon, Georgia. But before I get into that, I do want to give you a shout out, because again, is that you are trailblazers.
Oh.
You have gone out and you said that people have voted for you 3 times. Well, this is your last for the commission, but you were serving prior to that.
Right.
So again, we thank you for your sacrifice, because it takes a sacrifice in order to do that. But most of all, it's the determination of your character and integrity that people continue to send you forth to do our business.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. Thank you so much. It's been an honor. It's an honor to serve. And I hope that these last 4 years, I'm going to be able to complete some things in recreation and making sure that roads in all of our areas are resurfaced rather than going into some areas and resurfacing them 2 or 3 times. Ours haven't been resurfaced one, and you'll see people coming around now, vacuuming out the storm drainage systems. You're going to see a lot of that going on, so more road work. But what I want to make sure is that we spread out the resources that everybody pays in to run government, that everybody benefits from it. And that's what I've always tried to do. But thank you so much for saying that. It's nice to hear that people are watching what you're doing and that they think you've done a good job. But tell us about A. Philip Randolph and what the local group is doing. Last week we had turkeys, and the folks who came by and picked up their turkeys were real happy to get their turkeys, and some took them and delivered them to some other folks who needed them. And so there should not be any hunger in these United States of America. There shouldn't be.
Well, there shouldn't be, but however, we know that there is.
That's right.
But about the A. Philip Randolph Institute, Mr. Phillips and Mr. Bayard Rustin, they were the organizers of the March on Washington. Okay, a lot of people don't know that. They give Dr. King the credit.
Right.
Everything was under his name, but however, they was the organizers of March on Washington.
That's right.
63 and 1965, they founded the A. Philip Randolph Institute. But prior to that, Mr. Phillips and Mr. Rustin, what they did was he organized the Brotherhood of the Sleeping Car Porters, the first Black union. And that's where he got his notoriety. And one important thing about that is that we've been so instrumental and having ingenuity going about doing things, is Mr. Phillips used a railroad in order to get his message out. And the porters on the train, they would drop off papers, information as each city they went through. And that way they gathered all the information and people didn't know what was going on. They just going by and they just throw papers
Where there's
out.
a will.
We'll make
there's a way.
We've always done that.
We've always had to do that. Yeah.
And so that was how the organization got started. Well, the Macon chapter has been around about 30 years. Okay. And I've been the president going on my 4th year. We currently have, we got about 40 people on the roll, but however, we got about 20 active members. We currently, what our organization currently do here in Macon, we do voter education, voter registration, and we go out, we do food giveaways. We do anything. We're part of local activities, anything that we can do. But currently what I'm doing now is that I'm here. You and I have partnered together before. Last election we partnered together. We're currently talking with Ms. Westbrook of the NAACP. One of the things that's not happening as much as it should, I won't say it's not happening because it is, but what we need to do, we need to get back together and come together as organizations. We have a tendency to be redundant in what we're doing. And it appears as we're looking for some big eyes and little U's, but there's room for everybody at the table. And so we come together because, again, if we're serving the people, if it's about being a servant, and then we're able to accomplish that, and we all can there's enough to go around for everybody. So I've had a very interesting and encouraging conversation with Ms. Westbrook last night, and I've been talking to you, and I'm looking forward for the new year, 2021. If we survive 2020, we definitely
you can handle it.
We're prepared for anything.
Anything.
So we're going into 2021 with excitement and a lot of jubilation, looking forward to a coalition and of coalition building.
That's great.
And trying to get some things done because we got some people up in Washington now that has an ear to hear what the people are saying now. And so again, I'm excited about what's going on with Macon. I've talked to some ministers this morning. I was doing some work at a church, and we're coming out. The Black men of Macon, Georgia, showing up. We talk the talk, but we're not walking the walk. So I've challenged them, and right there they've challenged me and said, we're coming out and we're going to be on the street corners talking to our young brothers. We're going to set some examples. We complain about what they're doing, but we're not setting any examples.
They do what they see you do,
yes,
not what you say.
Yes, so that's going to be a part of the organization also. But just as a Black man, it is that we owe it to our young Black men. I was blessed to leave here. I left in 1972. I'm a proud graduate of Northeast High School. Class of 72.
Right.
Yes, ma'am. And so I left, and I was gone 25 years with the military, and I came back in 96. And so I've been in and out of the church, different organizations, working kind of quietly. But now it's time. I have this organization. I have a platform to work from. And so you're going to see some things going on with the other local organizations working together, because no organization can do it by itself. And collectively, as a community, we as a
you
village,
can get a whole lot done. That's right. Let me encourage you, if you have a question or a comment about A. Philip Randolph, Mr. White is here. And while he is here, we'd like for you to call in. Our call-in number is 478-250-1444. And we're here on WDDO. You've tuned in to Ask Elaine. We appreciate you being there. Please share this so that your friends can be reminded to go Facebook Live, or to turn that radio to WDDO 980 AM radio and listen to Ask Elaine. We're here every Wednesday from 3 to 4. We're in the same time slot. And so all of those folks who were listening before, we would love to have you listening again. People, I think everybody doesn't know that we're back on. And so the word is spreading, and we would love to have you tuning in each week, either by radio or on Facebook Live. So please share. If you're there and you're listening or watching, go ahead and share so that people will be informed about A. Philip Randolph, which is our first topic that we're discussing. Our call-in number is 478-250-1444. And we were talking about the wonderful work that A. Philip Randolph Institute does in the community, about the history of it, and also how there are partnerships being formed. When we get together, you can't beat us. When we get together, one rope is out there by itself, you might be able to pull that one, but if you get all the threads and you intertwine them and they get together in one strong bond, then it's much stronger and more things can get done. And when you're criticized, you can just slough that on off and keep on going. But we are organizations like yours is just your organizations do wonderful things. What are some of the other kinds of projects that you've done in Macon-Bibb County?
Well, we, like I say, we've been out doing the voter education. I'm sure some of the people probably out in the audience.
Oh, yeah. Y'all are famous for the voter registration and education.
We've put out over 15,000 door knockers and flyers in this election alone. We've put out we've had mass distribution. We've given out we've given out 2,000-3,000 masks. And we're currently now, what we're doing is phone banking. So you might get a call from one
right.
Phone banking, talking, just encouraging you to go out to vote. We know that everybody's heard it has been redundant, but however, there's someone that has not. And I know that we talk to people that say, well, I've already voted. Well, if you've already voted, encourage someone else to vote. We all know someone that has not voted or have a reason not to say they're
Mr. White, there are 11, I was talking with someone, there are over 11,000 folks who voted in November who have not gone back to vote. So you've got time. The early voting sites will be open Today is the last early voting day, but you can also go on Tuesday from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. and you go to your regular neighborhood polling place for on Tuesday. But if you can go today, get it done. You don't want anything to get in your way. Something could happen and then you're not able, then you'll say, gosh, I should have voted. So this is the last day of early voting. So y'all please go take your picture ID, go vote. Now, for those who have an absentee ballot at your house, you received it and you have not voted, go ahead and vote. Seal it up in the white envelope, then put it in the other yellow and white envelope. Sign the oath and take it to one of those drop boxes. There's one drop box in the front of the Board of Elections on Pine, and the other one is down by the courthouse, near the courthouse and the Grand Opera House. So deliver it. Don't depend on the mail this late. It's kind of late. Now, it's not too late to vote, though. If you decide you want to vote early and go into the site and vote, take your ballot with you, and then you can turn that in and let the folks know there that they need to cancel that, and then you want to vote in person. So you can take care of this, and we just want you to do this. We want you to vote. Now, there's a lot depending on you. There have been elections. A lot of these elections are so close. And when you're talking about a statewide race, the predictions are that these races will be close. And there are 3 of them on the ballot. You have the 2 Senate races, and then you have the Public Service Commission race. And the prediction is that these are going to be close. So your vote can make the difference. And organizations like A. Philip Randolph, the NAACP, Bibb County Voters League, all of these other organizations are working so hard to get you out to vote. I don't know what you have to do to convince somebody that it's important for them to vote.
I just continue to encourage. I think we have to continue to set examples, talk to people about it. And I was going to say this, is that you will see us out waving signs. We were out in front of the election site the day before yesterday. On Monday, we was out there waving signs. Out there ahead about
and there's a lot of stuff going on over there today. There are food trucks, there's free food, there are just all kinds of things going on over there. I think the Kappas, Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity members are over there. There's just a lot of stuff going on over there. So people need to go over there, music and all of that. I just wanted to say that.
Well, I'll be back over there on Monday. I'm having a caravan on Monday, and Tuesday we'll be over there. We'll be blasting some music. I'm going to have some line dancing. Of course, it won't be me because that's going to be ugly. But we're going to be over there doing that. Also, I expect to have some people at the Old Times on Gray Highway, just out there in the lobby, just encouraging people to vote. We'll be passing out some masks, and Anderson have been kind enough to allow us to sit in there and greet the patrons as they come out. Pass out masks.
Y'all have really been working.
Yes, ma'am.
There's just a lot going on.
One other thing I did want to say is, we are a nonpartisan organization.
And
that means that we don't endorse candidates. Our main goal is to get everybody out to vote. That I had the privilege to go to the Edmund Pettus Bridge on the 50th anniversary. I went down there, and I tell you, it was a beautiful sight. And an awesome feeling to walk across that bridge. I mean, just to go back.
And you could go without the threat of being beaten upside the head. But when John Lewis and the Freedom Riders, Freedom Marchers were there, they were beaten. It was just horrible. And now we have that freedom from feeling like, well, no, you really don't, because our young black men are being killed still, and black women too, just all over this country. It is a shameful thing, and we've got to do something about that. But now when we have marches and special events and stuff, we just sing, and and we're not fearful the same way that people were doing the real civil rights movement, because there was real serious danger.
Yes, ma'am. I've heard a gentleman say one time, right, said the difference between a moment and a movement is sacrifice. Is that, and so the people that you're talking about, they were sacrificing.
Right.
They bled and died.
That's right.
For our rights that we have today. And so therefore, and all we asking for, under no threat of loss of life, most of the time,
right.
Most of the time we can go without fear or reprisal. And so therefore, all we asking is for you to go and cast a vote.
Right. And you know what? A lot of people are working to try and mobilize young folks. Traditionally, young folks have not been voting. This last election, there was a tremendous turnout, an increased turnout of young voters. And I do hope that folks are encouraging our young voters. That's why we're having a lot of music events, a lot of food events, a lot of things all over to encourage young folks to come. And while you're there, get inspired and then vote. Because a number of them have been held down at the Senior Citizens Center in Carolyn Creighton Park, and a number of them over here at the main office on Pioneer Avenue. So if you're a young person, and I have two grandchildren who just turned 18. One will turn 18 on the 4th. Which is the day before the election, and she will cast her first vote on the 5th. She will turn 18 on the 4th, and I got to remember that birthday gift. I think she wanted to make sure I remembered that, and Cash App and all the way.
Oh, yeah.
And so she is so proud that she will be able to cast her first vote, and in this election, which is probably one of the most important ones that we've had in a long, long time, because this just has such far-reaching impact on a whole lot of things. And so she's real happy. And then I have a grandson who is a freshman at Savannah State. And so he cast his first, he had already turned 18, so he cast his first ballot in the November election. He was so happy, and he has already voted early in this one. He's home from Savannah State for the holidays. And so you got to start them early. And so those of you who have younger folks, please encourage them. Take it as a job. That you will encourage them, and put that pressure on them to go ahead and do it. And if they ask you why, tell them, have you ever heard of student loans? Have you ever heard of, maybe we don't have to have food now, but we used to, and have you heard about justice? Have you heard about all of these different things? They're all tied to your vote. They're all tied to your vote. And it's a shame that our folks have to find out about it when they're discriminated against. And then they want to ask, well, why are they doing that? Why are they doing that? Well, people don't respect you if you don't respect yourself and do what you can do. And if you don't vote, people don't count you. They really don't. That is why, and I say this a lot, Mr. White, that one of the reasons that we don't get the services that we deserve, and I know people need to provide the services because we pay too, but one of the reasons is that there's a perception that we don't care, that we don't vote. And we've got to get rid of that perception. And the way you do it is by going to vote. You can you can shut all mouths. People don't believe you, but you show them, and that takes care of it. So let's take a call. Maybe somebody has a question for you. Good afternoon, Ask Elaine.
Commissioner Lucas, how you doing?
Doing just great. How are you?
I want to say good evening, Commissioner Lucas. I want to wish you Happy New Year from my home to your home.
Yeah, Happy New Year to you too.
And thanks for all that you do. You and Senator Lucas for keeping us informed what's going on. Senator Commissioner Lucas, we live in a time now when we just have to, have to be safe because this coronavirus.
That's right.
It ain't going nowhere no time soon.
You're right. You're right.
I told somebody the other day, God have not given us the spirit of fear, but love and a sound mind. A sound mind means common sense.
That's right.
And some of us that we got sense, but we ain't got no common sense.
You're right. You're right. Like why I gotta vote? Why? I gotta vote again. I mean, when I hear that, I say, oh Lord, give me strength. I gotta vote again. And I'm saying, yes, again, and again, and again, as many times as you need to. Every time there is an election, you ought to be there. You ought to be there. But anyway, I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
Hey, anybody see the young lady line, because she was trying to get one out of bed name, on the negative ads that she got up against him, but if God is fighting, the devil here can't do you no
That's
harm,
right. That's right.
So
Well, none of it's sticking. You can lie all day, but sometimes things stick, but it's not sticking. There's been the millions of dollars.
That's right. Our ancestors said, Martin Luther King and John Lewis died that we had a right to vote.
That's right.
So we don't vote. Then we don't have the right to say anything.
You're right. You have a right. You can say something, but people aren't going to listen to you.
That's right.
They are not going to listen to you. They're going to leave your streets dirty. They're going to leave your streets unpaved. They're going to leave all your stuff undone. But you form a neighborhood association, or you hook up with A. Philip Randolph or NAACP or some of these, or SCLC, some of these other organizations, and you get active and raise your voice level a little bit, they'll start listening to you. But if you sit at home and wonder why they won't do this and why they won't clean up my street and why they won't come pick up that mattress and why they leaving this dumping in my neighborhood, you form an organization and you come to get your elected representative to come with you, and y'all together request what you want, and you'll get it. But anyway, thank you so much for your call. We appreciate it. And you have a...
Again, I want to wish you a Happy New Year. Lord will. We have a good news here. God bless you now.
All right. Thank you so very much.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. It's a good call. But Mr. White, thank you so much. This time goes by so fast when you're having fun. And I've enjoyed you sharing what you've shared with us. And thank you so much for what you and your organization, what you do for this community. And I know that you work hard. You work extremely hard, and you have to have a good leader to get people to work along with you. And thank you for providing those turkeys for some happy families. And we are here, and anytime you have a project that you're doing or anything that you want to share with us, please do. And I look forward to seeing you on Friday at the Emancipation Drive-In. It's at 2:00 at St. Paul AME Church on Shirling Drive. And there'll be various ministers speaking, and then Senator Lucas will be speaking as well. And people can just drive in. You stay safely in your cars with your mask and everything on, and it will be, you stay in your car. And there will be information. We'll have additional voting information and stuff about different topics in the community. And we're also in a minute going to be talking to someone who's going to talk about the Martin Luther King series of events that will be going on. And this Emancipation Proclamation is the first one of the year, always on January 1st. It's usually at 12 noon, but this one's going to be at 2 o'clock because it's a drive-in event. So we want to see everybody there. All right, Mr. White, thank you so very much. And we're gonna let you go because we know you've got some things to do, and then we're gonna get Pastor Lisa Watson to come on in and join us, and we're gonna talk about Martin Luther King 2021.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you so very much. If you'll take your headphones off and leave those.
Thank you.
Because we don't want you to get dragged back. Thank you, sir. Thank you so very much.
I will be look forward to coming back. I have another project coming up.
Okay, well, we'd love to hear. We'll love to hear about that. Now, because we are in the age of COVID, we all know these folks at DDO don't play. They take care of business, and so they prepare the area for they're going to prepare the area for our next guest, who is none other than our sister preacher. Was that's sister preacher, isn't it, Bishop? It's Pastor Lisa Watson, and she's going to come on in and she's going to talk a little bit about her church. She's going to tell us a little bit about the Evangelical Ministers Alliance, and also about events that may have to be rescheduled, events that usually take place at certain times. There she is. This is a marvelous station, isn't it? It's just marvelous. All right, you have tuned in to Ask Elaine, and we want to welcome Edith Newsom, who's saying good afternoon. And gosh, I need some glasses, don't I? Sherry Shannon Miller, congratulations, sister. Thank you so much. Jeanette Goff says, hello, Commissioner. That's such nice people. Y'all can leave us a message if you like, and once we see them there, we will read those. Our call-in number is 478-250-1444. If you're listening on WDDO on the radio, welcome to Ask Elaine. If you are on Facebook, then please share this so that others will be reminded, because sometimes I'm sitting there and the time just goes by and people it'll pop up on there. But anyway, that will be a reminder. So y'all please hit your share button. Please hit your share button. And our call-in number is 478-250-1444. We have my sister. I have sisters all over, and so this is one of my sisters. One person that I admire so much, because she is just a tireless worker in this community. I've known her for a long time, and I have always marveled at her energy and all the things that she does for this community unselfishly. She'll call and she'll say, I got an idea, got something, and I'm going to call it blah, 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 blah. And it is such a wonderful idea, and it addresses a problem that we're having in the community, until all you can say is, okay, sister, all right, Pastor Lisa, we're in. And I love the way that you coordinate your events with the sheriff, who is always supportive, and the others who work along with you. So this lady that I'm talking about is Pastor Lisa Watson, and she's going to tell you a little bit about her church and her co-pastor, and then we're going to talk about M.L. King and the Emancipation Proclamation program coming up January 1. Welcome to Ask Elaine.
Oh, it is an honor and a privilege to be on the Ask Elaine show. And congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. We had our swearing in.
Yeah.
I hope you can see that, our swearing in ceremony this morning. And also, for those of you, now that you mentioned it, the new mayor has published a booklet, Making Bid Forward, and it's a report of the mayor's transition team. And so this is something that you might want to get a copy of. I'll try to get some more copies and have them at the school.
Okay.
If you'd like to pick one up, you might want to know what the ideas are moving forward that the new mayor is proposing. And of course, everybody has to have the votes of the commission to initiate any of the programs. And so, but we'll be glad to, from week to week, share some of these, but you need your own copy. So I'll try and get some more copies for you, for those who are interested. And I just cut you off in the middle of what you were saying.
That was great.
But as you get those years piling up, you have to say it
while we get it. But it's an honor. It's an honor to have you to serve another term. And sadly, I really have to say sadly, it saddens me that it will be your last one because of term limits. And hopefully God will provide someone to carry on your great work, your great legacy. And we just so appreciate you for serving. We love you for serving as our voice in our community. And you've done a great job. You've been so dedicated to your calling.
What's that verse you preachers can quote about fear? God didn't.
He didn't give us a spirit of fear.
Hey, I can say it in my own words. The Lord didn't make me scared. No. And Ella Bell Huckabee.
I was about to say she was a strong woman, and she produced some strong women that she called daughters. And we're just as the late Richard Gammons would say, it just makes me elephant excited, dinosaur delighted, hippopotamus happy. Don't make me do it.
It was something.
Yeah, so we're just so glad that you do have this last term to serve us and to get some things. I feel your heart completed, and we believe God gonna let you do it. And we always appreciate your being a part of our community coalition, as you said, with the sheriff, the coroner, yourself, and other commissioners and ex-mayors who have always helped us to get out in the community and try to do what is best for the good of the whole. And had one young man to say to me, he wanted to salute me and Dr. Butler for being mainstays. And I told Dr. Butler, baby, that's okay for you. Dr. Butler is looking at 75 years, but I'm 53. So I didn't know if I wanted him to call me a mainstay yet. But we do want to always be committed to Christ.
Right.
To the church, to community, and to our children. So we do, as you said, often try to come up with initiatives that we can share that are for the betterment of our community. So our church, as you said, I do want to talk a little bit about our church because in the new year, we're going to be rebranding our church, you might say. We'll be more known as ELCC and E. Van Leeup Christian Church. And Dr. Butler will be taking a more relaxed place in ministry as our pastor emeritus.
Oh my!
And I'll be senior pastor, pretty much handling the everyday things of our ministry. And she'll be taking a more teaching and tutorial type of role. And so we're looking to do some new transitional things in our own church ministry, as well as to continue to serve and keep the legacy of Dr. King alive in the Evangelical Ministers Alliance as program coordinators and members there.
And you've served as a coordinator for a long time.
Yeah, we actually served in the EMA now for 20 years. I got started in 2000. Dr. Butler was there in 1999. The late Reverend Leroy Reeves brought us on, and the late Reverend Richard Gamage saw fit to pass his mantle on to us as program coordinator. And we've tried to keep his legacy, as well as Reverend Reeves, as well as Dr. King's, alive. They worked hard to keep the dream alive in Macon. So we've tried to continue that effort. And with the COVID this year, it's kind of limited. What the EMA do. But our new president, Reverend Alfred Hazel, he's 77 years old. I don't think he minds me telling that. He has some pre-existing conditions. he has some pre-existing conditions himself. His wife, some pre-existing conditions. So he wanted to, be sure to keep people safe. So the EMA has not been as active during COVID as we have in past years. But we will in the new year when we get through this pandemic.
Okay, so let's go to, I was glad to see on Facebook the announcement that there was an event that was being coordinated through some ministers, but also the AME ministers and also the Evangelical Ministers Alliance.
Co-sponsoring it.
Okay.
Right, with Pastor Marvin Colbert, and I believe the new pastor at St. Paul is Kenneth Moore. It was Kenneth Moore's idea, I think, and Pastor Colbert joined him. And Pastor Colbert is one of the newer members of the EMA, Evangelical Ministers Alliance. And he thought it was a good idea for us to partner with them to show clergy solidarity, and I do too. And basically their goal was to use January 1st as an effort to get out the vote. We desperately need to get out by January 5th. We definitely want to turn Georgia blue. And in order to do that, we got to get us to the polls.
We do. And we got to remind everybody that this is the last day of early voting. So you still have time to go to one of those 3 locations. There are 3 of them that you can go and early vote. Go to the Senior Citizen Center down at Central City Park. It's Carolyn Creighton.
Lucas Center.
Well,
down in the park.
Okay. All right. And then you can go over to the main office, which is 2525 Pound Avenue. And then and then you can go to the Theron Ussery, which used to be North Macon Recreation Center. Either one of those you can go to today. So I encourage you to please go today and vote early, and then let somebody else know that you're going to vote early. We've got Pastor, some congratulations from the bumpers. The congratulations. Oh, here's somebody. Pastor Lisa Watson is our guest with Pastor
Sister Preacher. They know Sister Preacher on the glory. Because Pastor Bertice Rozier plays some of her music in the mornings.
And y'all please share. Please share. We're reminding you that. And you've tuned into Ask Elaine. And our second special guest today, you got two special guest is Pastor Lisa Watson, and she's talking about the Emancipation Proclamation Program.
Right. This year, every year, as you know, because we're part of the MLK Commission with you serving as our chair, every year we have the laying of the wreath at Rosa Park Square there across from City Hall. And then after that, it sort of kicks off our annual MLK events with our Emancipation Proclamation service on January 1 after watch night. And everybody knows we do it at noon. But this year, because of COVID, we will not have that, but we are partnering with St. Paul and with Pastor Marvin Colbert and Bethel and really the AME district this district. We're
mhm,
partnering with
mhm.
them, the Evangelical Ministers Alliance, to do a drive up
Right.
emancipation. They can stay in their cars, and actually, even if it's raining or cold, they can keep the windows up because they
Right.
have a radio station that will come in live into your car, and you can still watch it on the porch of the
Mhm,
church.
mhm.
But your windows up, away from the elements,
Yeah.
and listen in, or you can let the windows down and listen via
Mhm,
speakers.
mhm.
So
So that's Friday at 2.
2 p.m. It won't
Friday
be at
at
noon.
2.
It'll be at 2 p.m.
Uh-huh.
And as our president did agree to partner with them in this emancipation because of COVID, but next year it is our prayer that we will resume our EMA
Right. Right.
emancipation
Right.
kickoff for the Martin Luther King.
Which brings us to how we will be ready. Wear that mask.
Right.
Wash your hands.
Social distance.
Socially distance. Let's take this call, Pastor.
All right.
Good afternoon, Ask Elaine.
Hi, Miss Lucas. This is Edith Williams. I'm listening to the young lady, but she never gave the location or the name of her church.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The name of my church, I did give it, is ELCC. And I said that we will be rebranding it as Evan Lib. It's now Evangelical Liberty Christian Church. It is located at 42. It is located at 4290 Houston Avenue in the beautiful city of South Macon, Georgia. Been on the same corner for 30 years.
4290 South Macon.
4290 Houston Avenue.
Okay, but now don't get that confused with the location
For
of
the
the
emancipation.
emancipation. That will be on Shirling Drive
St. Paul.
at St. Paul.
AME.
AME Church. Just as you pass the fire station, you pass Appling, the older Appling building, the Martin Luther King Elementary, going down Shirling Drive, and past the going out like you're going toward the golf course. Past the fire station, and about maybe an eighth of a mile there on the right side is St. Paul AME Church, and 2:00 on Friday.
That is where the emancipation service will be. Friday at 2 p.m.
Thank you so much. And I want to let you ladies know that I appreciate you and I thank God for you.
Bless you.
And as you take your steps in the future, I pray that the Lord will send his angels to go ahead and protect you in all your destinations and just keep you safe.
Thank you.
We receive it.
Thank you very, very much. And thank you for your call.
Thank you.
Peace and blessing.
Kimberly Carter says, congratulations.
Yes.
She calls me the winningest. She says I'm the winningest black woman.
Yeah, that's Miss Info. That's Miss Info. She know what she's talking about.
Oh, Miss Info. Miss
She know what she's
Info.
talking about.
Oh, yes.
You are
Kimberly
the
Carter.
winningest.
Kimberly Carter
You are the winner.
rattles
Yes,
it off.
yes, yes.
We thank all of you for your calls and for your comments and everything. We've got a few more minutes to talk to Sister Preacher over here, but y'all, please share this so that others will know that we're on. We're on every Wednesday from 3 to 4 here on historic WDDO, The Glory, 980 AM. And we're going to do a little bit more advertising of the program in the next month or so, because a lot of people might not know that we're back on just on a different station.
I was sharing that with Pastor Vertiz on my way in. That it took him to bring me in my home church side building.
All right,
So,
let's get this call. Good afternoon, Ask Elaine.
I'm so glad to be talking to the winningest black woman.
Kimberly.
You are going to hold that title whether
that's her title.
And the next thing they're getting ready to get mad about is I'm going to start calling you Commissioner Emeritus.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love
my,
it. I
you
love
talking
it.
about
I love
mad.
it now. I love it.
I'm going to start calling you Commissioner
I love it.
Emeritus.
I love it. I love it. Go, Miss Info. Go, Miss Info.
Now, that means it's time for you to roll on off. That's what that means.
No, that means you just get relaxed and be respected. And you can speak and be heard.
You still have to work.
I have to call in, first of all, to thank Pastor Watson.
Blessings on you.
But I also want to call call in because she is just much too humble for me. And I just want to publicly let your listening audience know that while she is an amazing woman of God and pastor, and of course, and my good friend Dr. Butler too.
Yes.
What this community needs to know is that when I was at Charles H. Bruce Elementary School, that it was Pastor Watson and Dr. Butler and their congregation that created community for those students. That showed up to PTA meetings, that showed up to school programs and plays for kids whose parents didn't show up. Who are constantly working with the young people and introducing them to people like you, Commissioner.
That's right.
We've been over there to a church anniversary, and like how it was when I was coming up, the first 3 rows be full of kids.
That's right.
You better be sitting up straight in
put them over there and give them the look.
Yes. And so that sense of community that they have created, providing that level of ministry and service, has always made a difference there in South Macon.
Bless God.
So I just had to just call and just say that because, because she just sitting over there being so humble. But I want the community to know, because all of our congregations, all of our clergy could take a lesson out of the playbook of evangelism.
That's right.
What to do when you have an elementary school or a middle school or a high school a block away from
That's
you.
right.
And so that's all I just want to say.
Bless you.
Just publicly thank her, and I'll see you on Friday.
All right. All right, Kimberlyn.
She's true to
All right.
Yeah, we're committed to our children.
Yeah.
We're committed to that, Dr. Butler.
Well, if the church doesn't, if that's not one of the things that you're supposed to do, what are you supposed to do?
Major. I think we lose less of them in the streets.
That's right.
Violence if we start
That's right.
earlier. And that's why we so salute our sheriff. Our kids call him friend. As you know, they do you too. And that's what we got to do. We got to make our kids know that they're a part of our community.
That's
right.
We
love them and their lives are valuable to us.
That's right.
And then they'll know the preciousness of their lives and they won't be killing each other in these streets. So she's right. We're committed to our children.
Right. Okay, let's go back and review. Friday is January 1st.
Right.
It's a new year.
Right.
We're kicking 2020 under the, under the bus, and we're stepping on in to 2021 with prayers that that year it has to be.
Got to be greater.
On the 20th, we get a new president.
Yes, got to be greater.
And let's just pray that the other one stays in Mar-a-Lago and doesn't do anything.
We're praying.
I don't want him to do anything.
We're praying.
Just stay there. Just
praying.
Just relax.
We're
just
praying.
Relax. And then we get our house in order now. We can't expect Joe Biden to come in there
got a lot of work
with a house that's just totally blown to bits
he got a lot of work.
and fix it up overnight. We got to give him time. But he's put together a team of folks.
Yes.
And so we got that to look forward to. But I'm telling you, folks, if we don't vote and if we don't put these 2 senators who are Democrats up there. Now, by the way, y'all supposed to be getting that $600. It's supposed to be hitting folks' cash. You're supposed to start getting it. Some people have gotten it today.
That's right.
But now the Democrats, if you put those 2 Democratic senators up there to help Biden, then they're going to work on getting you some more.
Exactly.
And you'll get the additional. You'll get the 600 now. Mine came as a check.
Okay.
So next week is when I'm supposed to get me and the senators, and he'll probably give that to me.
You just queued me.
But anyway, y'all start watching for your $600 because that's just the beginning. Joe Biden has to have some help.
Gotta have help.
So we're going to be talking about this. I know some of those powerful ministers are going to be talking about this Friday.
And we're going to be talking
the
about
Emancipation Proclamation, 2:00, drive in You can drive
Stay in your car.
park, stay in your car.
Listen on the radio.
Listen.
And watch from the porch.
Exactly.
Safe
and
all the
then
way.
get something to get you going for the new year, 2021.
And we'll be back next year with all our MLK events.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
We'll be over the pandemic.
Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in today. You've been listening to Ask Elaine. My special guest for the first half hour was Mr. Eddie White, who's the local president of the A. Philip Randolph Institute, and they are a wonderful group. The second half, we had none other than Sister Preacher, Pastor Lisa Watson, who is my dear friend and who is a friend to this community. And so we want to thank her for being, but we need you to go vote. You still have time. If you have not voted, go vote, please.
Vote.
Go vote. If you don't vote today, vote on Tuesday, because we're going to be calling you. We're going to be calling you or coming to your house to get you to take you to vote. So it's just that important.
Yes.
People wouldn't be trying to take it from you if it weren't important. So please go vote. Thank you, Pastor. Thank you so much. And y'all tune in again next Wednesday at 3:00 on this historic station for another edition of Ask Elaine. This is your voice, Commissioner Elaine Lucas, thanking you for tuning in. And we just wish you the happiest of holidays. We wish you a Merry Christmas, but Happy New Year.
The community through gospel, the new 980 AM WDDO, Perry, Macon.
You have the supernatural favor of God living on the inside of you.